Hey, Nashville Dads. On November 4th from 9 a.m. to noon, you're invited to join Tennessee Titans General Manager Ryan Carthorne and former Titans place kicker Ryan Suckup for a Saturday morning your family will never forget.
It starts when you and your child experience the thrill of stepping onto the field where the Tennessee Titans play. You spend the next few hours connecting with your kids over plenty of fun, interactive family moments, plus some practical fatherhood tips you can take home and put into practice.
The All-Pro Dad experience is recommended for elementary and middle school age children. Family passes are $25, but as a Nashville Dad listener, you can save $15 by using Nashville Dads. That's just one word, Nashville Dads. Purchase your pass at allprodad.com. Hey guys, we wanted to give a shout out to some of the people we have met while recording the Nashville Dads podcast. On this episode, we wanted to highlight Brandon with Nashville Restaurant Radio. If you're interested in the Nashville food scene, this is the podcast for you. Brandon has some of the most influential people in the Nashville restaurant community on his show. So check it out. Follow them on Instagram at Nashville Restaurant Radio. Welcome to another episode of the Nashville Dads. This week we have on Aaron Hicks of Pink Door Cookies. We talk about being a single parent, communication with his son, and life selling cookies. We hope you enjoy. Justin's out for this episode, and because he's doing his 20th high school reunion, and it's just weird to look up a little bit sometimes and be like, oh yeah, it's been, I graduated in 2010. Oh, it's 2023. Oh, that's some time. Mm-hmm. It's been a bit.
Yeah, my 20th was during COVID, so
oh yeah,
we didn't get to experience it.
Yeah. Do you think you would have gone back for it?
I think I haven't gone to any other one, but I felt like I was going to the 20th.
20th feels different for some reason. Like 10 years is like, man, we're fine. 20th is like, oh.
Yeah, 10 years I felt busy. 20 years is like, okay, actually, let me see what everybody else is doing. We do have social media, so you can kind of keep up, but there's, I'm at an age, I'm 40, so I'm at an age where I have friends that just never had social media, still don't, never have.
Yeah.
Probably never. Well, like it's funny because some of them will have like Facebook for the marketplace.
Yes.
And they don't call it Facebook, they call it marketplace. Like they don't have any friends or anything.
That's awesome.
So
they're just
I'm jealous of them sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you guys, I think whenever because I started college in 2006, and that's like, I feel like when Facebook was like, you still have to have like your college email address to be able to register for it. And you being like 4 years older than me, that 4 years is that much of a difference of just like, oh yeah, maybe my MySpace is still out there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember it was odd because my sister went to Eastern Kentucky University.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, like after Harvard, like EKU was like one of the first like email addresses that got accepted.
If it works at
Facebook.
EKU, it can work anywhere, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like they must have just knew somebody or something. So like I heard about Facebook and I was like, I want to do it, but Florida State was not one of the schools that was accepted, but EKU was. So I took her email address.
That's awesome.
And made a Facebook page. And then years later, she was like, when she was like, I want to get on Facebook and can I have my email address back?
That's awesome. You're like, no, I've got a whole identity built. You can't take this from me.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it happened. It was a different time as things were exploding. Right in we're the beginning of social media. Yeah. So,
I am slightly. That's one thing that how old is your son?
He's 7.
He's 7. Yeah, my oldest is 7 also. I am not looking forward to that aspect of parenting, is how social media will change and what it'll look like.
Well, I'll tell you, look into recently Matthew McConaughey's son turned 15. Yeah. And for his 15th birthday, he was given an Instagram. And all of the other kids that are his son's age, have had Instagram for years, since they're 10, 11, 12. Yeah. And he just listen to what he says about it. It's something to the effect of, this place is an asset. You can build on it. It can also tear you down. It's all about knowing who you are before you enter it. Oh yeah. And how he communicates that is like how I'm going to do it. Cool. I assume, unless there's some new thing that comes out, but by then. But he's only 7, and he's into YouTube Shorts and stuff. He doesn't have anything else. But I do let him watch YouTube because he'll use it. Like we were fixing his bike earlier today, and he was YouTubing how to cut a bike chain with no tools. Oh. And I was like, why don't you just like YouTube how to fix a bike chain with tools, And I was like, actually, I know how to do this. So then we started fixing it. But that's what he's doing. He's he can't even really type that well, but he can talk into it. And so I imagine he'll, who knows what'll happen, but he's already like really wanting to comment. Like I don't let him comment or like do anything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even know that I've changed those settings under his thing. He's just like, why can't I comment?
Like, I don't know, man, must be a weird video.
Yeah. So he's already into it, like wanting to comment on some random person's
you're like,
how-to video or whatever.
I feel like the internet is like, man, you had really good intentions here, and this can be a very bad world.
Yeah, so, you really have to be sure of yourself to make it an asset, or it can really hurt you. And I think if that's about you as a person and as a parent, like, taking that in.
I forget, it might have been, I'm a big fan of Richard Rohr, who's like a Franciscan monk. And he's very big on like whenever you're a child, you get taught black and white because to some extent you need those barriers because that's like, it's actually good to know like what right and wrong is and like who you are. And as you get older, that's whenever you introduce gray and nuance basically. Because like my 7-year-old, she only understands right or wrong. Mm-hmm. And you try to like tease her like, hey, there's actually more to it than this. But like you also want to make sure they understand what's good and bad before you start being like, actually, who knows? Maybe it depends on your perspective. Like, nope, she's 7. Just keep it straightforward. So I always hope for the ability to, or the mental presence that as my kids get older, that I know when to shift from black and white thinking to like, actually, there's a lot of nuance here. There's a lot of perspectives, and let's talk about all those perspectives.
Yeah, I find myself having conversations with my son and learning that from that conversation. Yeah. And I've always tried to be honest with him and like answer all the questions as truthfully as I can. Mm-hmm. And I learned from that. But you're right about, there being a gray area that's hard to explain. Yeah. But I've also read recently where a study was done by NASA that they tested children under the age of 5 before school, before assimilating into society, and 98% of them tested out like as creative geniuses.
Oh, really?
And then 5 years later, at 10, they only 50% of them were testing out as genius, and by the time they were 15, like 10% were testing out as geniuses. Yeah. So basically, like saying that, if you give them too many constraints, then you're taking away from their ability to possibly be a genius. So it's so difficult though, because you don't know how far to let them, like where's the difference between helicoptering and free ranging that's acceptable in our society.
Yep. And I think extremes on either side have negative consequences. I think trying to be in the middle is honestly what I try to do a lot of the time. Like, okay, let's set some healthy barriers, but also I need to be aware of whenever that barrier is, you're literally hitting your head against it every single day and you're asking to do more. So what's my whenever I'm at home, like during the summer with all 3 kids, trying to figure out how to entertain a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old at the same time, going to a playground with all 3 of them, it's just like, all right, girls, you go to this area. You can don't leave this area because I have to physically know where you are, but I'm going to be sitting over here with your brother who can't keep up with you.
Well, it's funny too, because this morning, my son, we have a neighbor that's like 15, and I befriended him. My son is my only child. Okay. And I have a neighbor who's 15. I befriended him. I've taken him to like urban area with us and stuff, and just to watch out for my kid kind of thing in the neighborhood as we moved in a couple years ago. Yeah. And he goes on his skateboard to the skate park and even to Walgreens, which is 0.8 miles away from us. We're in Franklin. Okay. So it's pretty safe. And my son wants to take a scooter there, and he did this morning. He was like, I want to take my scooter there. And I was like, ooh, it's kind of through the neighborhood. It's not too much.
It'll probably be okay, but also.
Yeah, but so I tailed him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I let him get ahead of me. And then I tailed him and looked at him. He stopped and talked. Right as he was walking in, this couple started talking to him. I guess they looked around. I saw it happen. Looked around kind of like, what's going on here? Yeah. And he said they offered to buy him snacks, and he said, no, I got my own money, And so I just kind of watched it all go down, awesome. and I asked him about it. He's like, yeah, they offered to buy me snacks. And I was like, okay, that kind of worked out, Yeah. But who knows if I wasn't there, what, people are weird. So it is hard to know. And especially these kids, their whole life is about getting your attention. Yeah. So if you're by yourself with 3 of them, how do you just, I can't imagine.
You teach turns and sharing, basically. Yeah. I mean, it's, the middle child gets talked over by the oldest child
the middle child will start talking. The oldest child will be like, I know. And I'm like, you can't say that. That is so rude to say that to someone. If someone starts talking, even if no, you shake your head yes. You go, tell me more. Because if I looked at you and said, I know, every time you started talking, it would hurt your feelings. Like, so you look for the opportunities to tell people how everyone matters and everyone's viewpoint is important.
Yeah.
And hopefully you aren't trying to do too much at once so that you actually take the time to explain it.
Yeah, that's luckily I don't have to deal. I have one. Yeah. So he gets my undivided attention most of the time. I try to have lots of sleepovers with friends.
Cool.
And have lots of, his cousins will come into town and I catch myself like giving them more attention than him, and like just balancing that out. Like for me, like every couple of weeks is hard to do. So
it's really hard because you're like, there's a guest. I want to make a guest feel welcomed and feel like they're at home. And then you realize you've ignored your actual family. And you're like, oh,
that's a thing too.
I thought that was hospitality. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a jerk.
Yeah. And so I mean, the only thing, there's so many, like, especially now, like every day is a new way to parent and a new, like this and that and the other. And it's, I can say that, and I'm raising a sweet kid, I know, and I'm trying to raise a respectful, and just kind child. And being present is like the one thing that's being consistent and present, consistently present is it's exhausting sometimes, especially with multiple kids. For me to have one, it's exhausting. But if every moment is a teaching moment, every moment is a life lesson. Yeah, and they soak up everything. So
yes, they do. I believe in inertia a lot with like parenting and day-to-day rhythms. So like. There's like the kind of saying or mantra of like, if I'm willing to do it today, I'll be willing to do it tomorrow. And that works for positive and negative things. So if I'm willing to be mentally present for my kids today, I bet I'll be willing to do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. If I'm willing to zone out on my phone today, I bet I'm going to be willing to do it tomorrow. So you just kind of like look for that inertia in your day-to-day life of like, all right, yesterday, man, I wasn't present at all. Unless I put a stop to that inertia, I'm probably going to do that again today.
Right.
So you just got to figure out, I believe in mirrors also. So once you look in the mirror and see what you're doing, hopefully it either makes you make some changes or you're like, all right, I'm happy with this. Let's keep going.
Yeah, hopefully you catch it because they're a mirror too.
Yes, they are.
And you start seeing them doing things that you really don't want them to do. And you're like, oh, that's me doing that. And so talk about
I just set the standard for you.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by being present, is just knowing that everything you're doing, they're watching. Yep. They're watching you do everything. And I say to people, you got to show. That's why you got to show your kid. You can't tell them, do what I say, not what I do. That don't work. Mm-hmm. You've got to show them what to do, how to do it. Yep. And and that starts with showing them how you treat yourself. Yeah. And not allowing other people to treat you any kind of way. Yeah. And teaching them how to have relationships that are healthy. Yeah. From beginning. Yeah. Especially as a single dad, like being present, I have. His mother's not in the picture at all. Okay.
So you have full custody?
Yeah. Cool. 100%. Nice. And they don't even speak anymore. So it's and that happened when he was about 4. Okay. And so he remembers her and stuff, but it is what it is. And we try to just move on and,
control what you can.
Yeah. Let him feel whatever he feels and just try to, obviously it puts pressure on me.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, does that make you, if I was a single parent and the mother had said, I'm good, I would feel like I would need to be above approach in literally every area of my life because I'm the only one teaching. Well, to some extent, it would feel like I was the only one teaching them morals, values, and how to treat people, basically.
Yeah, it was, and before she left, it was, I worked a lot. So I wasn't even really, I was like the fun dad parent. Like
you'd show up from work
like, and go. Yeah, we would just go party or whatever. Me and him would go out hiking and just doing things, but I never fed them, never changed them, bathed them or anything. So it was. I had a breakdown. Yeah. When it first happened, like just trying to figure out like what do I do here. Mm-hmm. Leaned on my family and some good friends that were able to like show me how, just give me confidence that I can do it on my own, and that's led to like some sort of emotional revolution for me, and to realize that it's one day at a time, and one present day at a time. Yeah. And so I think it's made me a better father. Yeah. Because don't, I rarely get to just take a deep breath and like kick back,
Yeah.
Put him to bed early so I can do that though. He gets a lot of sleep. So
yeah.
Any chance I can get to just be with myself a little bit. It helps for me to give him all the effort I can too.
Yeah. Are you able to like center yourself or like meditate on a daily basis?
Yeah, I have to.
Cool.
Yeah. That's something that has to be done. Teach him how to do it too.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot of. I'm on a fairly new spiritual journey, and he's getting a lot of this that I was never really exposed to.
Yeah.
And so he's seeing a lot of this, and we've developed, which is out there through therapy and stuff, a color chart.
Okay.
Which helps a ton. And so you have 4 colors, which green, and I'll ask him, what color are you?
Yeah.
And he's learned how to look in and close his eyes and look in and see what color he is. So
yeah.
Green means you're like happy, ready to go, learn, play, whatever. Blue means you're tired or sick. Yellow means you're fidgety, anxious, whatever, hyper. And red means you're angry, you're mad. And there's things you do on each one of those, and almost all of them revolve around breath work. But especially if you're just yellow, just some deep breaths, some squats or some push-ups or something, some physical.
Yeah.
And then if you're blue, it's like you just need to be alone for a little while. Quiet time works, like we just talked about earlier. Quiet time's huge because they end up usually just falling asleep, and they need that.
Yep.
And they fight it so much. I don't get it. They love the sleep, but they fight it so hard.
Yep.
I don't know. I haven't researched that, but there's got to be some sort of like.
I don't know if it's like FOMO or what.
What is it?
My middle child will do that, where she's like sitting there basically like eyes like drooping down. You're like, hey, do you want to just go like lay down on our bed and read a book or something like that? And she's like, no. And I'm like, we're not doing anything. Like, you're not missing.
You're nodding out on these tacos right here. Like
basically,
you're they'll be here when you get back.
In the spaghetti, which is adorable, but also just go lay down for like 30 seconds. You'll be fine. I can guarantee you, your younger brother's taking a 2-hour nap. We're not going to leave this house for 2 hours. I'm good.
Yep.
So
that's I guess it's just them just wanting your attention all the time.
I mean, also, I think of my own self whenever kids are down for sleep and everything, and it's like 9 p.m. and my wife and I finally get a moment to actually talk about life at all. And then it's like 10:30, and it's like, well, I don't want to go to bed yet.
Yeah.
And so I do it too. Like it's just
I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that he's teaching me to look into my body and see what color I am, and know what I need for myself.
Yep.
And so that's and to finish it off, red is angry, and that means just go away. You need to be outside. You need to go scream, whatever you need to do. But it's all about getting green. Whatever it takes to get green, which is relational and learning, and ready to live. And seek joy, and he knows all this. So
cool.
that it's been a couple years that we've been on this journey together. So seeing him learn things and teach me things has been really inspirational. Actually,
is there a name for like this method and everything? What's it overall called?
I don't remember who wrote it.
Yeah.
But when you Google it, you'll see the
cool.
color chart method, like emotional color chart method. I didn't really read.
You're good.
I've just looked at the Cliff's Notes versions.
You know the premise, and it's helping you and your son communicate how you're doing internally.
And actually, I think we like on our refrigerator, we use like the characters from what's the movie where like joy and
Inside Out.
Inside Out, yeah. And so like that's the characters,
that's
and,
cool.
And then it shows what.
Oh, and they're all color coordinated also too. That's cool. Got it. Yeah.
So
nice.
it works out good, and
except for green being envy, that's the only one.
Right. Well, I think like like maybe Joy has yellow hair, green hair or something.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, you can figure. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I think she's the green one.
Gotcha.
Joy
cool.
is, so that's what it's all about. Is just seeking joy and choosing to seek joy, joy, and choosing to be grateful, and like kids, especially with social media, we talked about they want to see what everybody else has, what everybody else is doing, and I'm just really harping on him is like choosing to be grateful. Mm-hmm. I saw recently where scientifically the part of your brain that expresses gratitude and anxiety are the same place. You can't be grateful and anxious at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you can start seeking gratitude now, you're gonna have a less anxiety in your whole life.
Yeah.
And so he's great about it. Children respond well, especially him. He's just so happy and kind, and I could tell you stories for days, just that he's just that show that. But I try not to feel sorry for him for what he's been through, losing his mom and all. But just being grateful that's if you can go back to seeking joy and gratitude, then you can really raise a person that people want to be around.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, even if his mom had still been in the picture, there'd still be things. Life is filled with a lot of disappointments. Mm-hmm. It's filled with a lot of unmet expectations, and I think how you deal with your unmet expectations is a way to learn about your ego, your soul, and to figure out how you can. I feel like it's like a good internal check. Like, I didn't get my way. Who have I become when I don't get my way? Yeah. Cool. Here's the work I need to do because I should not be this person whenever I don't get my way.
Right.
And there's a better way to say that.
But, well, what you basically said is like, go into most things that involve other people, like lowering your expectations and increasing your levels of acceptance. Yeah. And that's how you can not be disappointed. Yep. And that's, really your expectations on other people is not fair to them anyway. No. Right. So,
and a lot of times you don't sadly, I feel like I'm not aware of what my expectations of someone were until something hurts me. Right. I'm like, oh, apparently I had this expectation of you. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. I didn't communicate this with you.
Because I actually didn't know it, but here we are, and I'm still mad at you, even though I said that all out loud.
Yeah. That's exactly what we try to do. And like his mom had came back into his life for a brief period of time, and I should, in hindsight, I shouldn't have let it happen. Yeah. But filled his head with like, I'll be at your birthday party or this, that, and the other, and then it don't happen, and then he's like super sad. And,
of course.
And I had to explain to him, like, you just can't expect much. Yeah. Just be grateful for that you have me and the other friends and family that are in our life, and my partner is really great with him. Like, it really helps, and I think she's filling a void for him that.
Is there
he may not otherwise have had, because I noticed that just being the dad, he when he sees me, it's like, let's go throw the football, let's go have fun, let's go wrestle. It's not a lot of let's go talk about my feelings, So him having other people that he can do with, I've got to make sure that he has that like net of support, and they fill me in, and so it helps. Yeah. But it's for the most part, I've gotten lucky that he's just so sweet. He's the kid at the birthday party, the piñata's busted at this birthday party we're at, and all the big kids like fighting for candy. I mean, like wrestling for candy on the ground.
It's a brawl.
It's a brawl. Like I was like, wow, like we're just gonna let this keep going.
This is like Tic Tacs, guys. Like
And so they're all into this candy. He's got like a hoodie full of candy. Yeah. And there's like a 3-year-old over here like crying because they didn't get any.
Yeah, of course.
And somebody says like, give Sabrina some candy or whatever. Yeah. And he like empties out his hoodie and gives her all of his candy. Everybody else is like digging through to find like one little piece to give her.
Away also.
And he just gives it all to her, has none. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my gosh, so sweet. I don't know where he gets that from. That's not.
I think some of that stuff is. I think you also have like mental presence in children. I remember whenever we just had the girls, and like one of them would fall over and the other one would be like, I didn't do it, and then like run away because their assumption was I would make them be in trouble. Be like, oh no, actually the correct response here is, are you okay? Can I help you? Mm-hmm. You actually, I think to some extent you have to be taught that. I think there's some natural intuition where you see someone not have something and then you're like, I need to give to them. But I think also you need to have social positive reinforcement of like, hey, this kid didn't have any candy. What do you have currently? How do we make sure to share? Because everyone should be able to get something.
Right. Yeah. And maybe I am very kind and caring as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's something you learned it from somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm making you give yourself credit.
So. Yeah. I mean, I'm just not that sweet. He's not, I'm not giving all my candy away.
No. I'll give some. I'll give some. But I'm keeping those Rolos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I feel lucky that he's picking up on the good things.
I also define whenever my kids notice someone who doesn't have something, someone who's been left out of the circle, whenever they go to them and make sure they're included, is whenever I feel very proud as a parent. So I very much feel that as well.
Yeah, I got a call from the teacher. He had, I don't even remember, I think he'd taken a knife to school, pocket knife to school or something, and he realized he had it. He gave it to the teacher. And she was like, hey, I got your pocket knife here on my desk, But she's like, I also want to say that in gym today, one of the other kids was not being involved. And Rambo says to the teacher, I want Timmy to be involved or whatever. And, like, she told me that story. super proud of him. Super proud of him for like turning in the pocket knife or whatever before school and not cutting somebody. But also like more importantly was like being aware that somebody else's feelings, you know, were not that they were not like he had gotten picked to play. They play Gaga Ball a lot, which
I have no idea what that is.
It's a super fun game actually.
Okay, cool.
It's like, but it's being installed in schools where it's like a form of like dodgeball in the dirt. I don't know. It's a good game.
Cool.
But he's explained it to me, and I they have it out the parks out at Brentwood.
Okay.
But yeah, just to see like him say, "Oh, I got picked, but I'd rather give my spot to this person, so let them go." And that was what the teacher called to tell you that they were proud of. So yeah, I see what you're saying there. That is, you swell up when you get moments like that. Yeah.
Because I don't know, I feel like I hope I'm an inclusive person, and like whenever you see your kid do it, you're like, yay, cool. Hopefully that I taught you that. Hopefully like some of it's selfish, I'm sure, but like it is like, I mean, I've also felt like the left out kid in a circle. I've felt like that. So like that your son is able to vocalize it also is awesome. Yeah. That he can see someone being left out, know who the person who can make it better is, and then go communicate it to them. It's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah,
that's pretty legit.
One of the most proud moments, you know, when you have something like that happen. But I guess I don't know. You know, we moved into a new school like 3 months after he started kindergarten. We switched to a new school, and we've been to that school since.
Cool. Which he would have started kindergarten in 21, right?
Yeah, so this is in second grade now.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
and you know, for him. Like, so he kind of was a new kid twice. And like, you know, he started in August, and we moved in October. So he was only there for a couple months.
Yeah.
So he was a new kid
Not
twice.
Ideal.
Yeah. I came here to sell cookies. So, you know, we moved to Nashville from, we were staying there with my family, in southeastern Kentucky. And so when like this year there was new kids, and at first he was like, I don't like the new kids or something. And I was like, well, why don't you like the new kids? And he was like, well, my friends are being friends with them. And I was like, well, remember you were the new kid, and you know, this person was friends with you. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, so you should probably think about that, like how they probably feel just like you did when you were the new kid, and you should probably maybe be friends with them. And because when he moved to the new school, I said, how was school? And he was like, Dad, everybody that I asked to be my best friend says yes here. And I was like, oh, great. He's like, I've got so many best friends now. I was like, so you should probably be their best friend, you know? Yeah. And then like the next day he's like, Dad, I'm so happy, you know, I got to be best friends with the new person or whatever. And I was like, okay. So sometimes, you know, they still like revert back to being scared of something new or whatever. But when I was able to like put him in their shoes, it helped him to reach out to them. Yeah.
I think, sadly as humans, we need a constant reminder of empathy. And the moments in which you need to be empathetic a little bit more. Or I feel that with myself as I get through a situation, I'm like, could have been more empathetic there. Yeah. I could have put myself in their position a little bit better.
Yeah. Makes me want to have like have somebody teaching me still, you know, you know, pointing out my faults and pointing out, you know.
I mean, we could get into a much bigger conversation about the role of eldership in society and the need for it. Cause I agree as well. Having people who have, gone through stuff before you, being able to look and be like, hey man, if you go down this path, here's who you become. Do you want, like, I don't even want people to tell me what to do. I just want to know what, like, I feel like a lot of times as a parent, as just an adult, you're driving on a road and you're like, where's the end of the map on this guy? Like, where's my destination on this? And you just want someone to be like, oh, if you take this turn, here's where you end up. And you're like, oh, I don't want to be that person. I'm going to turn this way. So eldership, very big fan of it. People who have just not even like, not telling me I'm right or wrong, just saying, here's where you turn if you turn down this path.
Well, and the thing, like I said earlier, there's so many new parenting styles and new things, and it's like you really don't know. I mean, and this is like your kid's life you're playing with. Correct. So, like, how do you know which one to choose? And like, okay, I ended up okay, but my mom was kind of like a free range parent, totally. You know, I'm doing things way differently than I was done to me. Yeah. And not to say that's good or bad, but not to say any of these styles are good or bad. No, but you just
everyone
don't know.
Feels authentic to you, and you feel confident doing. That's basically to some extent what it is.
And it's just a lot of walking into the unknown. Yep. And at the same time, you have to like pretend like you're not walking to the known for your kid. You know, you've got to walk with confidence. Like, this is the way we're going to do it.
We're doing this today. You're like, why? because that Instagram post was really convincing. I don't know.
yeah, exactly. That TikTok was they really made sense there.
They spoke to me in a way I didn't anticipate to be spoken to, and now I'm trying it on you.
Yeah, that's it. I'm trying it on you, and hope it works out. But yeah, you've got to lead with confidence, or they're not going to believe you.
Yeah,
you know,
pretty much.
So you've got to have a tone about you that that they will listen to. Yeah. So. And they'll call you out on your mistakes pretty quickly.
Pretty much. Yep. Because they're a mirror.
Yeah.
And I don't think they even know they're calling you out on your mistakes. They're just like, hey, why'd you say this but do this? And you're like, because I was tired. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because life is a lot sometimes. I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard to say that to them.
Yeah.
Being authentic and honest with them, sometimes you've got to taper it back a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Because as a parent, you're a guide to your child's life, and you want your guide to seem like they know the path ahead of them. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to follow. Like if I'm hiking up Everest, I don't want to choose the Sherpa who's like, I don't know, we'll turn I don't know, maybe we'll go this way. It's like I want the guy who's just told me they've done this 3 times today already. Yeah. I want to go with that guy. So that's part of it too.
That is. So.
Anyway, I want to make sure to give you how we got connected was Chris Chang, because he was like, oh, dude, you need to meet up with Aaron, talk to him. You guys worked farmers markets together, right? Tell me more about Pink Door Cookies and your job and what all you do with them.
Yeah, so my best friend from high school, Evan Mathis, he calls me up. I'm in Colorado, and he says, I bought a cookie company, and so he linked with Matthew Rice on Instagram.
Yeah.
He was selling cookies out of his house.
In East Nashville, right?
Yeah. He had a Pink Door, and he's selling, hence Pink Door Cookies. Matthew's super talented anyway. He won the television show Chopped on the Food Network.
Yeah. You look at him, he's a very casual guy. I feel like when you talk to him, and they're like, wait, you're making phenomenal treats right here. This is really good.
And it's like it's kind of his calling. He's always baked. Matthew baked with his mother when he was little and loved it.
That's cool.
And but the pandemic shut down, restaurants was like not a what did they call people that were like a person that had to go to work?
Oh, essential worker.
Essential worker,
yeah. Food was not essential.
Yeah, that was not an essential worker. So, he to pay the mortgage, he's selling cookies out of his house, and Evan basically was like, let's get a bakery, and I think Matthew had just got a small bakery, our first bakery, which we still have. It's like 130 square feet. And
is that the one in Wedgwood, Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like
on
a
Hart
closet.
Street.
Yeah, that is a closet of a what you guys are able to produce out of that cookie closet is very impressive.
Well, that's kind of what limited us. We can only make so many cookies, and so we also have a location at the farmers market in downtown Nashville. And so like that oven there works overtime to produce the demand. And we had started shipping last year, and with just like the heat wave we had, and
heat is not good for shipping cookies.
No, it was a learning experience there, especially some of ours, which you see will have some frosting on them, and they're and the presentation of his cookies are so good, like they're all like works of art basically. So that was like figuring out how to ship. It sounds easier than it is.
No, it's extremely hard.
Yeah, and especially
how do you have it in the plastic wrap without the plastic wrap somehow smashing on it and then ruining all the sprinkle? Like now, I'm sure you've done a lot of very weird trial and error. With
we've put cookies in a van, that's hot, and then bring them out and and then I've gained a little bit of weight because somebody has to test all the cookies.
I understand that. So it's a horrible job. It's someone else to do.
Yeah. So we've kind of figured it out again. We've got a new location that we're opening in West, probably in the next couple months, and it'll be able to increase our production and start shipping again.
Cool.
When we were shipping, we had I don't really know who it is, but she was just 1 million plus followers on Instagram, but put on her story that these cookies are better than crumble.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden our orders are just booming.
Yeah.
And we caught up with all of the orders that week, but it was hard. It was pressed to produce, and so we just didn't want to put out any subpar products, so we halted it. But now we got a larger location opening, and we should be shipping, and we want everybody to have. We have 12 different flavors on the menu at all times. All of our flavors are totally unique and super tasty.
Which one's your favorite? Yeah, choose a favorite child.
Yeah. I mean, it's like recency bias. So the fall cookies came out, and we have a pumpkin cold brew, and then my favorite is fried apple pie. Like it's, I think, see what we got there. I had him. I said, pack me up 6 good ones.
Yeah.
S'mores is our best seller. It's got a graham cracker. Look at the bottom of that s'mores.
Oh,
it's on top of a graham cracker.
Oh, what? That's cool.
Yeah, and that's a hand toasted marshmallow and Teddy Grahams.
I do like the brownie one. That one is fantastic.
And that's my fried apple pie. That's my favorite now.
I'm gonna hide that one whenever I get home so the kids don't see it. And Justin, whenever you listen to this episode, I was not given any cookies.
So the new flavors are typically ones I love, and then the other one there, because they're not labeled, is pink grapefruit ginger snap.
Cool.
That's like a chef's flex in my opinion, because
a little bit.
Like it's the cookies that were like just hard cookies, like brown painted like pink icing when we were younger.
Yes, yeah.
That's kind of what that is, except for it's like
fantastic.
And so Evan calls me up and he's like, help me organize and grow this. My master's degree is in process improvement, I was like trying to figure out how to do everything. And
cool.
I have a history in sales, so growing it that's what my title is, Chief Growth Officer.
Okay, cool.
And we quickly, once people start hearing about it, and he's got a cult following on Instagram, basically. Anytime he puts out a new cookie, all of his followers want to come see it and taste it. And
well, I think whenever we first connected, it was around whenever Taylor Swift was in town.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys Matthew almost shut down the shop for a day or two, because he was so he had done so much, and there's such a good response that he was like, I'm tired. I need to not bake cookies for 2 days.
Yeah, well, that her being in town, he put out 2 cookies that were like Taylor Swift inspired.
Yeah.
Calm Down, which was like a tequila flavored cookie with icing on it, and then Lavender Haze, which is like a blackberry cookie, vanilla blackberry, and the response, from the Swifties and all.
Yeah.
And he's one of them.
Is he? That's cool.
And it was so literally, our farmers market location just started doing so well because there's so many people there, and it's like a food court environment.
And that you're talking about the downtown one, because you guys do 12 South also, and you do other farmers markets.
We do Wedgwood, Houston Farmers Market, 12 South. We do a lot of events. We're doing Oktoberfest next week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's our biggest event of the year, actually.
Really cool.
So it turns out beer and cookies go well together.
Yeah, they do. Black Abbey will do a Girl Scout cookie night. Whenever it's Girl Scout cookie time, they'll have a troop come in and they'll pair the cookies with their beers, basically. Oh, wow. And the girls sell cookies out front, basically. It's really fun.
They do really well. They do. So we, we got a lot of fun things going on, and our biggest event, Oktoberfest, actually is next weekend. It's a fun time if you haven't been.
Yeah, that's in Germantown, right?
Yeah, it's basically right there by Bicentennial Park, right by the farmers market.
Sure, yeah.
I'll have my son and his cousins wheeling cookies from the farmers market to our up the road, up the hill.
Because you bake out of Bicentennial Mall, do you have a kitchen over there?
Well, we have storage there.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Yeah, so we and then we got access to it. So and the Oktoberfest is till late in the evening. So,
okay.
Yeah, our shop closes at 6.
Gotcha.
And we're there from 10 to 4 at the farmers market 7 days a week. So.
Yeah.
And that we had to actually close our bakery. We only open on the weekends at our bakery.
Yeah.
So that we can meet the demand of the farmers market. So it's,
Does anyone, is it just Matthew doing the baking, or do you guys have on who bake also?
Yeah, he's trained up 3 or 4 people, and in preparation for the new location too.
Yeah.
But he was there today when I picked those cookies up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anytime I've gone by, I feel like I just want to call it the cookie closet, because that's kind of what it feels like when I walk by it.
It definitely is.
I think
it's a window.
He's been there every time I've ever gone by.
Yeah, so. he likes to be there on the weekends for the most part, and we're hoping at our new location we can have a mad scientist test kitchen where we can just have him constantly baking up new flavors.
I mean, looking at how much you guys I feel like change your menu almost weekly, and he seems very prone to experiment, and his experiments are good.
Yeah, he does. We try to change it up every month or so, because but he also does flash batches where he'll do like a couple hundred of a cookie. And just if you didn't get it, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cookies that we've had was called coffee lime.
Okay.
It was like a key lime pie icing on top of like a chocolate coffee cookie.
Yeah.
And nobody else that I know that have had it, because we only had 120 cookies, and We sold them at the downtown farmers market, which is a lot of tourists. So it's like none of our fans really even got to try it. And that's exciting. Is to have a new flavor come out, and it's an exciting time. So and then holiday cookies. Almost every cookie will be new for the holidays. So yeah, awesome. It's it's a fun. My son loves that I work for a cookie company.
Yeah, of course.
Like literally every day he wears a cookie shirt to school. That's cool. Like he just, I guess I couldn't have a better job for a 7-year-old to look
Probably
up to.
Not. Unless you owned a candy store, though, or
right.
If he's into like Pokemon or something like that, that'd be the other cookie store or niche kid thing that everyone loves.
Well, and it helps out too. I mean, as a started here as a single father, and like he's got to come with me to these events too. So he's like, yesterday I think I posted on my story where he's like handing out bags of cookies and telling people which ones are his favorite, and
that's cool.
Like roping in kids, like, hey, come get some cookies, And so it just helps them just kind of like socialize with people, and
of course,
just teaching them a trade that's kind of a trade, I guess.
I mean, also like if you've only, how long have you lived in Nashville for?
This will be I moved here in like summer of 21.
Okay, so like this is year 2 of you living here with the son, being basically, a single parent. Yeah. So like you could sit at home and be like, oh, what do I do? How do I find community? Very easily. Mm-hmm. And here you are at farmers markets, hanging out. Your son's with you, and you're like, cool. This is how you meet people.
Yeah,
get out of your house to some extent.
It works out. It works out that way.
That's cool.
And cookies high foot trafficked. We need high foot traffic in order to. And Crumble has set a standard where you can have a location that's a cookie store. Yeah. But it's good being to the high foot trafficked areas and meeting new people. I mean, like I said, I met Chris, and that's been a domino of meeting people at these markets. And it's most of the people there are like, the farmers. I love the farmers. Yes. My son loves the farmers. Yes. And just like we were at an event yesterday at the food fair in one city, and I can let my son run around and totally run around and like look at a booth, 10 booths down, and like somebody give me a thumbs up that they got eyes on him, So it's like a community. Yeah, that's cool.
You can still do what you need to do, and your son can be part of it.
Yeah.
And how is one city? I've never actually been over there.
Oh man, that
it looks sweet. I feel like I've driven by it and been like, okay, what's this?
Yeah, it's growing a lot. There's like some sort of maybe bar there with like some where the location where it's at, it's right at one city. There's like a bridge, and there's a stage, and there's like there's like a little green space.
It's just like a little north of Centennial Park, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
like Charlotte.
It's right where Charlotte. It's I guess that would be where 440 in Charlotte, Charlotte goes underneath 440.
Yeah, that's
right there, and that's all growing really nice.
Very much so, yeah.
But the food fair is the second annual is this year, but it's all food. It's like all foodie stuff. Yeah. So, and most of it's free. People are giving away stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some of us are selling. We don't like to do samples because our cookies are kind of big, and to give away a free sample is like to give away a whole cookie.
Very much.
So, so some people are like cutting stuff up and giving away free samples, and some people are selling stuff. But that food fair, the Nashville scene is doing a great job of like just brought a bunch of like really talented chefs and artisans there, and it's not like where you're buying like candles and stuff. You're buying like finished. All the food there is finished products to eat right.
That's cool.
And so it's like a real foodie type environment. And this is a foodie type city that I've learned. And then the 12 South Market is amazing too.
It is. That's it's definitely Justin and I's favorite market. It's the closest to our house.
Yeah, and there's a lot of vendors that go there.
Yes,
and so it's not, and you get a lot of. People that grow the food and bring it right to you right there. I mean, there's nothing better than that. Meat, whatever. That's like I said, that's a good environment. Yeah. For me to raise my kid in. So
yeah, you've got a lot of people who are. I feel like when talking to Chris Chang, whenever he came on, I think part of his master's work, which is just a casual sentence, was to travel across the country and go to farmers markets and like learn about the ecosystem that comes with it and everything. And normally a farmer's market is a good way to tell what a neighborhood is like, what a community is like. You have people who are very focused and intentional, who are taking chances, taking risk, and trying to take like something they feel like they're good at and then share it with other people.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool, very unique energy to be a part of.
Yeah, casually, Chris. I love. I think he said a couple years, maybe 2 years, where he traveled like the whole continental states. Went to like every farmer's market he'd go to.
When he was at Harvard, and just need to work on his master's, some extra. So
and for those who don't know, he almost won city council.
Yeah, man.
Year.
He
like
came
1,700 votes off.
Yeah.
So
for a guy who was his first time dabbling in politics, good for you, Chris.
Yeah. I saw him yesterday at the food fair.
Did you?
So, yeah, and he went. I guess he went to the mayor's inauguration yesterday, and then came out there.
That's fun.
And I saw him, and I was just like, I'm really into, if it's meant to be, it's bound to stay type of thing. Yeah. So but yeah, he said he learned a lot, but that's the type of person that is down there, like somebody that just never really made hot sauce before, didn't come from a hot sauce family.
Nope.
But
had an interest.
Yeah.
And this is what he's doing with it.
Yeah.
And he makes good product. The other thing is it's a good product also.
Insane too. Yeah. I love that. I mean, I love that hot sauce. So, and he had the peach hot sauce down there yesterday, and traded my son a cookie for some hot sauce. So my son's getting some bartering techniques from this deal too.
That's cool. So if you said you're like chief of revenue.
Yeah, chief growth officer.
So that basically means like how your company succeeds, you're responsible for.
I'm responsible for bringing in revenue.
Oh man.
And it was exciting because basically, like, as a chief growth officer, when like I'm selling every cookie that you can make.
Yeah.
Like we can't make enough.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting that we're having a new location with much bigger ovens, much more, so the pressure is about to shift from how can you bake more cookies in this 130 square feet to how can I sell more cookies? Yeah. So like it's going to be exciting to go back to, like I have to be really careful about what events we enter, where we advertise. Like we really can't advertise because we're kind of maxed out on what we can produce.
Oh yeah. You can't meet needs until that new location's open.
Yeah,
you can buy advertisement dollars. You can put up a billboard, and then people will come to you and be like, "Where are my cookies?" And you're like, "Come back in a week, pre-order." I don't know.
That's exactly what's happening. So this is a lot of movement. November 1st, we plan on hoping to have the permitting back from the city and be
Fingers
able to
crossed.
be able to start really. Hopefully, everybody will see a lot more of Pink Door cookies in the next by the end of the year.
Are you hoping? Where's your new location going to be? Hopefully, like Sylvan Heights.
I don't know. I'm really getting familiar with the neighborhoods over there, but it's not far from that. So
okay, cool. But West Nashville.
Yeah, you go past I guess from here or wherever you go past under 440.
Yeah.
And it's like it's on Park.
Okay.
So at first it'll just be production facility, as we get familiar with where all the equipment's going to be and how much space that's going to take up, and then it's a nice little building. It used to be a pizza shop, I think.
Oh, cool.
And it has like a little yard, so maybe we'll be able to have some block parties or something down there. Even if I don't think there's a farmer's market over there that's during the week.
No,
that I know.
You got Richland on Saturdays,
right?
And that's
it's on the weekends.
Yeah.
So maybe we can host one of those or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really we love the farmers market community anyway. It's a
really cool community.
It's one where you can show if you are talented, you can really get a following. Through that. And it's similar to how you can go viral on social media because if your product's good enough, you know. But if you're out there in the markets, then you can really get people wait in line for your product if it's good enough. And we've been fortunate to have some success at most of that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I think getting to know you guys a little bit better, how I feel like it's like the three of you, Evan and Matthew, just being like, all right, man, we got good cookies. How do we share it? How do we get it out there? Matthew seems like a genuinely really good guy. And so he seems like he's like, I know how to make cookies. Can I donate some proceeds to some causes I care about? Can I do stuff for Taylor Swift? Can I he seems very focused on I'm good at this thing. How do I include other people in it? And that's pretty awesome.
Super inclusive.
Yeah.
And we're meeting with a marketing team here and we were trying to explain to them our vibe, and it's just inclusivity, whatever.
Inclusivity?
Yeah.
It's a hard one. Hard one.
Just very inclusive and, just happy and,
celebratory.
Like literally, he says like if we want to make money because we want to end hunger in Nashville.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, this guy's so sweet, you know. So and I mean, I'd love that too. I love being able to give back and just the causes that he supports, and we're me and Evan are really just here to support him and reaching his vision, and how we can do that. But we try to keep our branding on point. And
I mean, you guys have so many sprinkles on your cookies that like positivity has to be associated with you. I feel like you use an entire container. It's like whenever we do cookie decorating day for Christmas and the kids decorate the cookies. I feel like that's how many sprinkles.
We love it. We love it like that. Yes. I mean, that's and that's what it's for. Is to, like if you can eat a cookie and smile. Yeah. Like
why not?
What's better than that? Yeah. And so that gives us a lot of opportunity to share to be creative too. Yeah. Like I said, we consider someone like artistic, Yeah. And now getting that to somebody's house has been a challenge that we've welcomed, and I think we might have it figured out now. Yeah. Where we can get these to your friend's house in New York. Okay. And it look like it did when it came out of our oven.
Do you have high cookie standards now? Like as in if you eat other people's cookies. Like the Vane Bakery is one out of New York where they can ship them anywhere and everything. Do you now look at their cookies and you're like...
Oh, we have all their cookies. Okay, we try everybody's cookies.
Okay, cool. You got to know the market's doing.
There's another one, The Last Crumb. Okay. They charge like $200 or $150 for a dozen cookies. Oh. They do limited drops. Okay. And they were kind of meh to me. I mean, but maybe I'm biased, but...
Yeah, but you're looking out there being like, okay, cool, this company is just... Someone paid $200 for these cookies.
Right.
Would I expect someone to pay $200 for my cookies to see how they taste?
Yeah, well, I mean, they and even crumble their cookies, and it's funny too. I've seen Matthew; he's put out 50 or 60 different kinds of cookies, and then I'll see Crumble have a cookie on the menu that's like, wow, that's eerily similar to what we do. Yeah, did they copy
Which
us?
Came first?
Did they copy us, or some of them look exactly like our cookies? Yeah, but I mean, chefs are creative and they're going to put things together that work. So I don't think they're stealing our ideas or anything. I asked Matthew, I said, hey, I think they are actually. Matthew's like, no, they're, that's the kind of guy he is though. He's like, no, there's only so many different flavors you can put together. No, come on, man.
Come on. They did almost the exact same name for the cookie.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. No, but I mean, the cool thing is it's if it tastes good, people are going to buy it. And, the branding helps, but it's when it's all said and done, if it tastes good, people are going to buy it. And what I do like is we have 12 flavors at all times. So, and
you've got vegan options, gluten-free options.
Yeah, we have gluten-free that are on the menu all the time. 2 or 3 flavors that we'll bake constantly. Yeah, and actually, that's kind of our hopes is to turn the current bakery into gluten-free facility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we can't be we're gluten-free-ish, Yeah. But we're hoping to have get it certified. I don't really know who you get it certified by, but we'll figure that out.
Is that your job to figure out?
Yeah,
to some extent.
Somebody said, "Can we get gluten-free certified?" And Evan was like, "Let's open a certification company. We'll just start certifying things."
And you're like, no. I don't want to look at the liability for that.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, because it was we were trying to get I think kosher certified for something, and this certified, and he was like, "Who does all these certifications?" Yeah. We'll look it up. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But you want to serve as many people as possible. Mm-hmm. So. And our vegan cookie is amazing. Yeah. And we have a couple different flavors that come out. We have one that stays on the menu. It's a vegan oatmeal chocolate chip. Yeah. It reminds me of like a granola bar or something, like a chocolate chip granola bar, and it's so tasty. So, yeah, and when when you have a baker that's that connected to his consumer, mm-hmm. people ask for things and people want something, and he's going to go into the behind the curtains and try to figure out how to do it. Yeah.
I feel like whenever you're a parent, a lot of days you think you have an idea of how the day is going to go, and most of the times it doesn't go that way. I feel like the type of position you're in, I would assume you run into that also. I'm like, all right, cool, here's how we're going to sell cookies today. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, we're not. Okay. I feel like it's a lot of opportunities to make sure you being centered is really important. Because then you stay nice to people. And a lot of your day is filled with probably okay, this didn't happen how I think it would. Be nice. Be kind.
Yeah, especially, I'd like to have a position where I could go to an event and scope it out and like, oh, we'll fit well with this crowd, and then you don't, then like, okay, nobody's checking us out here. What's going on? Or the weather's bad or something like that. So yeah, you have to be able to pivot. Like you've got to you got to figure out where you fit in. Yeah. And the cool thing is, there was you think a cookie is maybe not a healthy thing, but I'll tell you, when the marathon was in town, we had a lot of marathoners eting cookies that day. So it was one of our best days in sales when the marathon was over.
What else doesn't it normally end in Bicentennial Mall? Oh, how unfortunate.
Yeah, ended right where we were at. So we just have all these marathoners coming in to eat cookies. So it's a time and place. It's a balance for everything. And if we can be, if there's we'll be the tilt on the cookie side of balance for you.
Yes. My wife ran the Chicago Marathon back in 2011, 2012 or something like that. And it ends with you getting a 3-1-2 beer. Because, a beer is a great way to replenish carbs and everything.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's we have a picture of her wearing the space blanket to keep her warm, holding a 3-1-2 beer, just being I just ran a marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's marketing opportunities at the end of marathons, is what I'm hearing.
It was funny, too, because we couldn't get in there that day. It was one of our second or third days of being in the farmer's market in Nashville. And me and Evan are down there. We're trying to, how do we, and literally we didn't know it was blocked off. So we had to, wait till it was over before we started setting up, which worked out okay because everybody's driving by us, or running by us. Yeah. And then
they're I'm going to come back for a cookie. I'll be back in 10.
Yeah. So it worked out. It worked out pretty well. And you just got to try to, if I can find ways to get more and more people to try them, then, and especially with expanded production, and we have more plans to produce a lot of cookies in the long run. But
if you can,
a little growth step by step right now.
If you can figure out shipping in which the cookies arrive and the presentation is intact, that helps out a ton.
Yeah, you can send a surprise to anyone, and we're going to release. The first thing will be an experience box where it'll just to keep it simple for us. Yeah, we'll have one of each flavor. Cool. And I know when we were shipping before, it's if just trying to keep up with the orders is kind of difficult. So we're just gonna start off with everybody gets one of each flavor, and you can ship it out. And we have some cookie cutters that we're sending out. I meant to bring one to you, but a cookie cutter where you can cut the cookie and share it with people. And
nice.
That's kind of the kind of the thing is an experience box is share these flavors with people, and then the more people share them, maybe share it on your.
I have
social
to share
media.
These cookies. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, you only got 6. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got shorter. Cool. You don't necessarily have to share these.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Maybe the kiddos will get a taste.
We seriously got some pink door cookies when we were at 12 South on Tuesday, and the brownie one with the rainbow on top was one of them that they got. So
yeah. That one's hard to pass up for the.
That one is it's a brownie, right? It's basically a brownie with chocolate frosting on top of it with rainbows.
Yeah, like the gourmet cosmic brownie.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. So how we end all of our interviews is we ask the same 5 questions to every guest.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. It's not like rapid fire, lightning round or anything like that. You have time to think about it.
Okay. Okay.
They're deepish, I guess. I don't know. Some of them are goofy. Some of them are fun. First question is, did you have any backup names for Rambo?
If he's a girl, it was going to be Khaleesi, the Game of Thrones reference.
Yes, of course.
And for Rambo, it sounds kind of wild, and there's not a ton of kids named Rambo, but before he was born, I coached football in the hood of Tallahassee for 17 years.
Oh, okay.
So I coached football the whole time I was in I'm getting my bachelor's all the way through my master's.
Oh, so you did undergrad at Florida State also?
Yeah.
Cool.
I started working there and joined up with the master's program. Okay. And I had a kid that was really small, and it's a poor area that we're in, and he had a camouflage T-shirt as his jersey. He couldn't afford a jersey even. And he was really timid. And I called him Rambo, and these kids are 9, 10, and 11, and he didn't know what Rambo was. Yeah. And so I told him, I said, go home and watch Rambo with your mom, And he came back to practice the next day and was like embracing the toughness from the movie.
Are you serious?
And became one of the leaders on our team. Ended up like starting through high school, getting a scholarship to college. Like, and
so went from like wouldn't speak on the bench to college scholarship. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
I mean over like a 6 or 8 year period.
But still.
But he became a football player and embraced the name, and they still called him Rambo.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, you can't really make your kids like prettier or smarter. But you can make them tougher, and the toughness is something that can get you a long ways in this world. So, if you're gonna have a little chubby redheaded kid, Rambo seems to be the fitting name for toughness.
Awesome.
It works out too that he's so kind, though.
Yeah, that does. Next question: do you have a favorite TV dad?
A favorite TV dad?
Yeah.
I'm older, so I'm like a big Urkel.
Like Family Matters. Yeah.
I just loved his joviality.
Yes.
And that's one that I was like gonna be watching every single week.
That's awesome. Next question: do you have a least favorite kids show or movie? Like whenever Rambo goes to watch it, you're like, can we please not watch this? Can we change it?
Luckily, he loved Moana, so like I love that movie too.
Yes.
But Baby Shark. I couldn't stand Baby Shark.
I think also Baby Shark, there's more than just the song Baby Shark. There's like the whole Pink Fong world with it. Like they go on tour with it. Like,
it's gotten bigger since from when he was little. Baby Shark, that was the first video that he like.
Yes.
I could put it in front of him, and I got a babysitter for like 8 minutes,
Yeah.
And like first video he'd even think about watching.
Yeah.
And it just got to where I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't like sharks anymore. Like I'm not
baby or adult. I'm just done. Grandma. Or grandpa,
it was catchy at first, but once you hear it over and over,
it's also
again.
only like a minute long. So that's like the aspect of children's music you don't anticipate is they are a minute long to 2 minutes because the attention span of children are so short. So if your kid is like, I want to listen to this 5 times, it's like, I'm listening to the same song for 5 to 6 minutes.
Oh my gosh, it's miserable. And luckily he's got a good taste in music, but he moved away from Baby Shark. But that would be like some of the music he wanted to listen to in the car too.
Yeah.
Now I got him in like Zach Bryan and
nice.
Eminem. He's like even listening to Eminem. So like,
I mean, you got to get amped for your football game somehow.
Yeah, he thinks I'm like the cool dad because I know all the Eminem songs.
Oh,
and he's
seriously?
like, I didn't introduce him to Eminem either.
Oh, okay.
He found it through like YouTube short with like from Godzilla or something, and just like I don't know, fast rapping.
Yeah.
And then when I knew the words to some Eminem, he was like, how do you know about Eminem, Dad? And I was like, okay.
The song came out whenever I was in high
15
school.
years old. Yeah. Yeah. So I just like, I don't know. I didn't know this one.
Yeah. Eminem is one of those artists where, like, I feel like I listened to him a lot also growing up.
I definitely did.
And now I listen to him, and I'm like, did my parents not hear this?
That's what's troublesome for me. It's like I listen to it against my parents' wishes.
Yeah.
And now it's like I got a kid. Like, but the first couple songs you listen to, they're like parental advisory.
Yeah. There are ways to get around it, but like there's some songs where it's like, this is pretty violent.
Yeah, this is not good. Violent. Did you hear? He'll say, "Did he just say this, Dad?" And I'll be like, "I don't think so."
I don't know, man. That's weird.
He's talking real fast.
Actually, this song doesn't work anymore.
yeah, that was off the playlist.
I don't know. We're gonna move that one. Do you have a favorite kids toy or activity? Is there like any toy or anything that Rambo does where you like really enjoy playing it with him or doing it with him?
My kid is a big board game kid.
Really?
Like I don't know what it is. He just loves board games.
That's with his love of like football and stuff. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah. He's. I mean, Nerf guns, obviously. Yeah. Water guns and any kind of gun. He's loving that. But like we play board games weekly, so and new and different board games and card games, and now he's into like. I have friends come over and like had friends come over for the Pilgrimage Festival last weekend, and he busts out the cards. He's got like 49 cards at a deck, and he wants to play Goldfish for $5. He's like wanting to gamble. I was like, where did you get this from?
That's awesome.
But he's a big board game, and we love playing Trouble. Like it's like just like the pieces are like it's hard to lose really because you can leave them in there. Yeah. So it's like and Guess Who. Actually, one of my best parenting moments was playing Guess Who. You know what Guess Who is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so he's like Sam or whatever, and I would say Sam is a black guy or whatever. Yeah. And I said, we get to the end, and I said, I asked him, I was like, are you black? And he was like, no. And then we get to the end, and like I don't have anybody left. Like who are you? He turns around, he's a black guy, and I said, Rambo, I asked you if you were black, and he was like, he's not black, Dad. He's brown. And I was like, touche. You know, he don't even see color, so that's good.
That's cool. There's a version of Guess Who where it's dogs. So it's like, guess who's a good dog? That one, my sister-in-law got us that one. So they like, some of the dogs wear glasses and some of them wear monocles. I guess who's hilarious because you like the importance of words and how legalistic you can be. Yeah. It's like, all right, cool. Does your dog wear glasses? And that does include monocles whenever I say glasses. Yeah. It's like a common phrase you'll hear from our table. So
yeah. And you know, it even became where it was like it was easier to say long hair or short hair instead of male or female for him. You know, well, that could be a guy there. You know, that could be a girl there. Okay,
all right, man. I'm actually just trying to limit the field. Sure, you're very open minded.
Yeah.
Thanks for not telling the Guess Who people who they are. Let them decide.
Yeah,
I respect that, dude. Last question: what moment of your kid's life are you most excited to be a part of?
I'm really. He asked me to coach football.
Yeah,
and I'm really digging the coaching football. Yeah. Like he's played basketball and he's played baseball. And I didn't really I coached a little bit, but and I wasn't going to coach him in football just because I don't know. I just wanted him to like develop his own.
Well, did you say you coached football before?
Yeah,
so you've probably already. You're like, oh man, I've done this for other kids. Like I don't know. Yeah.
And I mean, but he asked me to.
Yeah.
We were at the what do they call it, tryouts or whatever, and he just asked. He said, "Dad, will you coach me in this?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I will." And this is like we're undefeated, and so like we won a close game yesterday, and like he's just so excited about it, and you know he wanted to do it because his friend was playing, and then it's 100 degrees, and he doesn't want to go to practice, and like. It's like, dude, you signed up. You got to be there for your teammates.
Yeah.
Of course, no kids want to go out and practice in football. I don't like to work out either. You know. Yeah, so like the lessons he's learning are just powerful, and I'm really enjoying football in particular just because it's like a team thing, and he's really getting it. So I really.
Does he play offense or defense for football?
He plays both. Like we only have like 12 players.
I got you. Yeah.
He plays like center and nose guard. You know,
yeah, so. I was like, I felt like he'd be a lineman based on his size.
Yeah, well, he's because he weighs over the amount. He's not allowed to run the ball anyway.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that works out. He's not like he'd be good at it anyway. He's embracing protecting, protecting other.
Yeah,
people.
That's cool.
He's and it's not about. And it's hard to find kids at this age that are like want to be a lineman. So like he's like your job is to like protect this guy.
Yeah,
and
get in this guy's way. You're gonna get hurt, so they don't.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm their coach.
And he's loving it. Yeah,
all right, man.
He's loving it. So this has been. I kind of knew it would be, and I didn't want to force that, and I didn't force him to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, in basically any of the sports, just like. Seeing that, just developing leadership skills and stuff. That's like I don't even think your kid really needs to go to school. I've debated like do I homeschool them or not, but I think they need to be in some sort of sports or school to develop leadership skills, if nothing else,
or just know how their actions impact other people and how it's a community.
Yes,
it's an ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it.
Yeah, man. This is your opportunity to promote yourself. Like, what's your Instagram handle? Do you want to say like follow us Pink Door Cookies, blah blah blah?
Yeah, if you're not already, follow us at Pink Door. Just like the Pink Door. And then come see us out at Oktoberfest. Yeah, it's free concert again, so it's very kid friendly during the day, especially. The later it gets, that means it's open till like 11 p.m. So the later it gets, it gets a little wild down there. But during the day and the early evening, it's a fun time, and it's the 5th through the 8th. So it's this coming up. I guess Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Cool.
And tons of cool vendors down there. A lot of them that are like, you go to some festivals where there's like these big, people selling stuff. Well, these people, a lot of locals that are still selling stuff, even though it's a larger festival. Yeah. And it's a good time. So yeah, come see us. I'll be down there most of the time.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, my son will be down there. Hopefully he's selling some cookies too. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks again for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Nashville Dads and to subscribe to us on Apple and Spotify podcast. We record at New Light Podcast Studio, and episodes are produced by me, Devin.